I mean, yeah. You just asked me if I'm stressed out. Yeah, of course. I've been really busy. You've been really busy. And we're still striking out on the childbearing thing.
Yeah.
For the last time. That was the last strikeout. Let's start with work.
Okay.
I'm not stressed because I'm busy. But let's start with you because it's an easier combo. Hi.
Hi.
It's been 4 months since our last confession.
Yeah, we're now in sweater weather.
Sweater
Sweater weather season.
Yeah, although it is hot in here, we just turned the heat on. And we're upstairs right now in a room that I did not close the vents yet, so.
It's a little toasty.
Yeah.
That's all right.
We went to church this morning, so we're in our Sunday best. Plus I have Diamond Dog socks
Diamond Dogs, mount up.
Can we just give a brief moment of respect for Ted Lasso being the funniest show I've ever seen? I'm sorry.
The best show.
It's funnier than The Office.
Oh, 100%.
It's funnier than Friends.
I will agree with that.
It's the funniest.
It's just so
sitcom.
quick. And like we're watching it the second time through and it's still just as funny. You know, like it's still like there were so many jokes that now you're like even getting ones that you might have missed. I don't know, it's crazy. I love it.
I put a chunk
Yeah, of honeycomb in there.
in there, and now there's just wax in my teeth.
Yeah, I don't know if you should have done that. You should just put the honey in.
I thought it would melt. It's wax.
Duh, it's hot.
You eat it. You just eat the honeycomb.
Right.
But I didn't know it would do that. Okay, well, we're off to a prime start.
Looks like you're not having tea.
Yeah, I can't even really filter that. It's stuck to my teeth now.
Gross.
Ugh.
But that's none of my business.
Rude.
It's like Kermit the Frog.
I guess I'll just smell tea then.
Well, I started work.
New school year.
Yeah.
Same bat channel, so 5th grade English.
Yep.
How's it going this year? This year's different than last year. It's your second year in the school, meaning most of the kinks of the new building. Most of the kinks have been worked out. I say most. It's a loose term.
Well, you know, there's so much going on still about certain things in the school that probably won't be fixed for years to come, but that's okay. Everything is working swimmingly. Our school is very safe. Our school is very well run currently. You know, last year was rough, you know, trying to figure everything out. But this year it just is all of a sudden just, now we get it. We're here. We're going. Well-oiled machine. But yeah.
Without getting specific, how are your kids this year?
My kids this year are good. They're very sweet. 5th graders are always very sweet. They're really nervous when they come to 5th grade because they're moving wings. You know, so it's a whole new transition,
From elementary to middle school.
Yeah.
5th grade is middle school. At your lovely place of employment. I'm not used to that. Middle school for me was 6, 7, and 8.
Not many people are. You know, 5th grade is... Yeah. There are there are surrounding districts that also have 5th grade as middle school. But, yeah, it's good. The kids are very sweet, very good group of kids. Like I said, it's a learning curve. The first quarter's a little bit frustrating because all you feel like you're doing is opening up lockers all day long.
Yeah. You're always like dead for the first couple weeks of school.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a lot.
What is this, month 3 now?
I'm just like now back to...
rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look great.
Thanks.
Maybe a little sleepy today, but you look good.
Yeah, I'm very tired today.
Sometimes during the school year, you don't look so good.
Yeah, I look very run down, ragged.
Yeah. You look good right now. You're looking pink and flush. Yeah.
Thanks.
I have a question, and I'm not trying to start anything, but you did mention something to me, and without getting specific, I was hoping you could touch on it. You said that this is the first year that you feel like you're dealing with the effects of the at-home COVID school stuff. Can you elaborate on that? Again, you know, I'm not going to talk about anybody specific, but
no, that's fine.
Like the challenges, what you think because like, again, I'm repeating myself, but this is, you've mentioned to me multiple times this school year, man, these
So-
kids are,
So these kids would have been, COVID would have happened to them in first grade.
was it that long ago?
Well, I'm trying to think who I was teaching when I taught third grade,
Which was right when
which
they were
was
coming
when we
back.
were coming back to school. So their year got cut short in March
Right.
in first grade.
Right.
And then they had the option to do the distance learning or come to school in second grade. So they had that.
So
It was first, second grade.
so when you were doing third grade, they were one grade behind you.
Correct.
And now you've been
Because I
in-
just had my third graders last year.
okay.
Like with the kids when I
Yeah,
had in
it
third
doesn't
grade, I just
matter.
had them last year.
So these kids were in a key stage of development at
Right.
school, like basic like reading, writing.
Reading, writing, math, things like that. I don't really see this group. I don't see a lot of educational gaps. I do see like it's either like here or here. There's no in between.
As far as
As far as like,
what are we talking about? Test scores? Are we talking about behavior?
no, I don't really base things off test scores.
I know,
But I'm
yeah.
talking about like, I have kids that can write a 5-paragraph essay, and I have kids that can't write a sentence. Like, it's
Oh,
either
and it-
here or here, but
and it's
there's hardly an in between,
Yeah.
which is nice because then it gives me the ability to give more attention down here and
ones
then
that
just
need it.
challenging students up here. That's nice. And now that we have accelerated in middle school, that is like a whole nother ball game. So it's like a whole class that I'm working with. So they're, it's very different. It's very different. But I think the hardest part this year, though, I'm seeing a lot of, is there's just not that much independence.
Well, I mean, to give credit where credit is due, all those kids were at that point now in school. If they were first or second grade, they're in, kids kindergarten. They've been in a routine for school for 2 years.
Right.
You rip them out of that routine.
Exactly.
And then
that's-
everything gets wonky. No matter. I mean, again, give credit to the parents, give credit to the kids. It's just a total disruption.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, the learning from home thing was the best that anybody could do, like on
Right.
a computer and stuff. So,
I
again,
mean, we were
I
all
didn't,
learning how to learn from home.
yeah,
You know?
I didn't want you to, I didn't want to stir any pot with this question. It just, you mentioned it a couple times, and you can kind of, you feel like that might be why you have this gap.
Yeah.
Is that,
But I think everybody, I mean, I don't care what districts you teach in or what school you teach in or what, there's going to be many effects that come from the whole COVID and the distance learning and why do you keep drinking
because
it?
I'm just gonna swallow the wax and worry
Okay.
about it on the other end.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Maybe I'll get all clogged up and we'll just use a wick and we can have a butt candle. That's so gross.
What is
I
wrong
don't
with
know.
you?
I don't know.
Sometimes.
This show is brought to you by Captain Planet. Doing more for the environment. Butt candles.
You
Sorry.
are so strange.
I'm so tired today too. I'm lightweight. What is it? Goofy? What do you call that? Or when you get overly tired and you start to get goofy, loopy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's my bedtime. Mm-hmm. But the day's not even half over yet. Mm-hmm. All right, sorry.
No, I'm just saying everybody everywhere is seeing the effects of COVID, and it's just something that we're still learning. We've never had this as educators, so we're learning how to close these gaps the best we can.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what we're doing. Just trying to figure out what's going to help our student the best, whatever student that may be. What's going to be most beneficial for him or her to help.
Yeah.
Even just boosting confidence, honestly, is just, that's worth it. Like, if we can boost their confidence in middle school, like to start off middle school on a good foot because, maybe they're feeling some type of way after struggling to be on track with their peers.
School, out
Right.
of school.
Yeah,
School, out
snip,
of
snap, snip, snap.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm, hoping for. We're working hard to make sure that they feel safe, which we always do, but to make them feel like they feel heard too, like that they can advocate for themselves if they're having trouble with something. And that's what my co-teacher and I, we work a lot with. What do you need? Okay.
Yeah,
What are
tell
some
us.
ways you can do this? Let's self-advocate, Let's try to problem solve and things like that. That's what we're really trying to work on here.
I'm giggling. Would you say, in your professional opinion, that you're doing a little bit of extra social emotional stuff this year with these kids?
Yeah, every year, but this year extra for sure.
I know you do it every year.
Yeah.
But you're doing a little harder this year. Mm-hmm. It just needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And again, not a reflection on anyone. Someone's going to read this or whatever, listen to this, and that's not what I mean. I'm not trying to stir the pot. I'm just, you come home and you talk to me about your struggles today, and I have no way to relate. Obviously, the only thing I've ever taught in my life is snowboarding.
Yeah.
So, I did deal with kids a lot while I was doing that. Ages 2, 3, up to, I had a 78-year-old woman once take a first-time snowboarding lesson.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. It's a story for another day. But the point is that I have no frame of reference really for what you're up to. So that was just something I was curious about. You mentioned it a couple times, and I never really picked at it a little.
Yeah, I do a lot of social emotional training.
For you.
For me, to teach it, and then I've gone to many conferences about social emotional learning, just to better equip myself so I can help, equip them.
Yeah, you're the conference queen.
I love going to conferences.
You do it twice.
And I get a lot. Yeah, I'm not doing it this year though, but I get a lot from every time. Every time I go, whether I get actual valid information or important pertinent information that I can automatically translate into my classroom. Those are great years, but also sometimes going and just getting myself revamped to get through hey, this is why I'm here. They always tell you, remember your why. And it's okay, we all remember our why that we're here, but that doesn't take away from some of the frustrations that we have as educators. So sometimes going to a conference where you're in a community of educators that kind of just lift you right back up to where you need to be can just change your entire year. And I was very fortunate last year to go to the Middle Childhood Education one, which is my favorite conference, in Columbus last year with my principal. And then I was also fortunate enough to go to a women's leadership conference with a whole bunch of women from school in March. So those two conferences are really key. And that March one is March is a tough month because it's right before state testing. You have spring break, so kids are antsy. Weather starts to get night, and it's you start to see the finish line. Yeah, you start to see the finish line, and it's everything just kind of gets a little more amplified. And so when you go back to, when I went to the women's conference, it just brought my spirits through the roof and was really a great way to finish off the year. But yes, I am the conference queen. I love going to conferences.
Yeah, I was giggling a minute ago. Now I'm ready to tell you, because there's a lot of stuff going on with the transition of power potentially for all the school board people, and we're not going to get into that. But I'm giggling because I'm asking you questions that are very strong in the community right now, and I'm just, it's not our place to fuel on the fire. But it just I'm curious again. I've been going to this year more than any other year. I've been spending time with you as much as possible, because you're the assistant athletic director.
Middle school athletic coordinator.
Okay, yeah, sorry, middle school athletic coordinator. So I've been going to all these games. I got this close to coaching 7th, 8th grade boys soccer, and my schedule ended up not being able to permit it. I'm going to shoot to really try to do that next year. So I went to as many of those games, as many of the girls' games. We did volleyball. Emma, I tried to come to. I came to most of her home volleyball games. Not everyone, but I'm trying to hang out with you at school. And I've mentioned this to you before. I feel weird being your arm candy on the Berkshire campus because, I don't work there. I'm not a coach. I'm not whatever, which is why I was trying to coach, try to, kind of get in where I fit in. And I don't know why I feel weird. I think just, again, because I didn't grow up here. I'm not from here. I don't work there. But I'm, with you as much as... But
you're a community member, though. So,
Well, yeah.
It's good to see that there are community members that, you happen to be married to a teacher there, but it's good to see the community members out there, especially at athletics. The amount of attendance that show up at athletic events has gone down drastically.
Yeah, I've noticed.
And it's not cool.
If it's not the parents, there's not.
That's it.
Yeah, that's basically it lately. I'm one of the few that show up to stuff. Again, I'm there for you, but I also enjoy. I played sports as a kid, and under different circumstances, I probably may have pursued some of that stuff harder.
Well, I mean, we go to the
Football
football
games,
games. We go to the varsity soccer games. Like, we have
Yeah.
no ties to either of those things.
That's true, yeah.
But it's important to go. It's important to support these kids that are working their butts off and appreciate, who they are as they start to come into our community as community members.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting. I have to say, and I'll straight up just say this, I am very disappointed in the amount of people that don't show up to things. It's just it's frustrating for me because there are certain sports where everybody shows up. There's a huge student section and coaches let their kids out to go to the games early and things like that. And then there's other sports that they just don't care about, which is just frustrating for me. As somebody, as an athletic coordinator that sees all of the sports,
Yeah.
it's very interesting to see
Who comes to what?
who
and
comes
why.
to what and who supports who. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. I'll get off my soapbox.
Yeah, I mean, again, no negativity here.
Right.
It's just, so I've been coming to things, and I don't remember what. Oh, I was laughing about.
Because you went to the...
I went to the school board meeting.
I stayed home.
Yeah, you did not go. You begged me not to go to the school board meeting, and I went, and it was interesting.
Well, I knew my mom was going and my dad was going. And
Yeah, I don't want to get into any of that because it's hot water no matter what we say.
oh, for sure.
So I don't want to talk about any of that. I just want to say that I've been going, it directly affects our household. We pay taxes for the school, which I'm happy to do. That school's beautiful. So, but also it affects our household income. You work there. So that's why I went. And we're going to raise kids here if we, God allows, we get to that point. We're not going anywhere. I mean, I'd go to the beach tomorrow, but you and I both know that's not going to happen.
Right.
Best I can hope for is a nice little summer condo somewhere.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. And again, it's such a beautiful campus. I mean, it looks like, I've never seen High School Musical, but if they wanted to redo it, they could shoot it at the Berkshire School.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you insert any high school movie where they run around 10 Things I Hate About You, any one of those movies could easily be filmed at this school. It's so beautiful.
It is.
It's crazy.
They did a very nice job.
All right, so that wraps that up. I'm sorry if my ADD is off the rails.
Yeah, you've been off all day today.
I have been off all day today, and it's been a busy day, and I have a lot to do, and I'm a little tired.
Yeah.
We're going to a adoption foster care group at the church we go to. It's every couple of weeks.
Once a month, yeah.
Once a month. And it's just a heavy session, group of
It
people.
is. It's emotionally
Draining, yeah.
Yeah.
We're reading a book right now, so let's put some reference on this. My oldest 3 siblings were adopted, and then me and my brother. It's my brothers, my sisters. That's how I think of it. I come from that situation, so adoption has always been on the table before we even knew we had problems with. I've always wanted to kind of keep that spirit alive. I thought it was cool. I had a couple friends that, spent more than a couple weeks living with us growing up, and my brother, his best friend lived with us for a long time when they were in high school. Our house has always been an open, revolving door, and I just kind of wanted to continue that. So now that we're having problems with the infertility stuff, we've been going to this group. I don't want to call it as a backup plan because, like I said, it's always.
So it's just a plan.
It's always been on the table, yeah. But we've been kind of going.
It's not plan A. It's not plan B. It's not plan C or D. It's just a plan.
Yeah.
We don't know when we're going to.
Yeah. So we've been going to that, and again, so apologies if my ADD's off the rails. It's just been a long day.
Yeah.
Long couple weeks for me.
It was a hard decision to make for me to go to the group. I mean, I knew that you always wanted to adopt, so like that wasn't an issue, but like for me we adopted, it's natural IUI, IVF, adoption. Like that was my flow chart in my brain of how we would get to adoption. So then when we went to the first meeting, I couldn't even.
It was like you're abandoning all hope.
Yeah, that's exactly how it felt. I felt like I was just so defeated because nothing worked, and now here we are at adoption, which I know is not true, but I was having a hard time having my heart and my head connect. My head was saying, you haven't even tried 2 of those 4 steps. Like, you're just getting information here. But I couldn't even talk. You had to talk the whole time.
Yeah, that was the first time, and
That
then
was rough.
this time there was a gentleman that was there that wasn't there the first time. What was his name?
Sorry with a C.
Doesn't matter. Older guy.
Really sweet.
Yeah, super sweet guy. He's by himself. He told a story about how just a few years ago he lost his wife to cancer, and that speaks to me clearly. Obviously, my mom and whatever. And he was just the story that he was telling was like fantastic story, and I lost it.
He was, yeah.
I couldn't keep it together. I mean, he was being so positive about how, he goes to these different groups and he does different therapy, and the communities come around him.
Yeah,
and,
like the church
the
groups
church
there.
community and stuff. And then he was talking about how, he's getting ready. He's got a foster kid right now from Solon High School living with him. And then he's got another one that he's kind of got his eyes on that he's trying to adopt that's 11 years old. He made it sound like the same community. And he was there all by himself, and
He was so positive, though. Like,
Yeah,
after
so
everybody spoke, he was like, thank you so much for sharing. Like,
Yeah, so
such a sweet
so, yeah. I guess we should segue. We can do my work stuff last. I guess we should just segue right into the infertility stuff. So we have updates on that. It's been a while. Last time we sat down and talked, I couldn't even sit up straight because I had just had surgery.
Right. Which was very successful.
I think I had just shaved my head too, so now my hair's back.
Yeah, surgery for Scott was June 1st.
Yep.
We went on vacation. We came back. We did one of these. His surgery was very successful.
Yeah, I was able to
Increase.
kind of change my situation. So our infertility issues have been solely with me from the get-go. We didn't know for a while, and then we had ideas for a while, and then we got all this testing done. And it turns out that I am the problem. So I was able to have this experimental surgery that worked. Like, I went from basically having nothing.
3.6 or something like that.
The numbers are irrelevant. It's not going to mean anything to anybody. But basically, I was not reproductive at all, and I went from like 0 to, if we had to say something, maybe like a 20 on a scale of 100, which from 0 to 20 was like a huge, huge change. They were like thoroughly impressed with what happened. I had to make some lifestyle changes too, diet, other things that we won't get into. But my life is super boring right now, I will tell you.
I don't think that's ever happened for you.
Yeah, I mean, not that I've, whatever, no crazy issues with me. I'm a normal human, I suppose, but I'm not allowed to drink or anything really. Nothing. I'm not allowed to, they want me on a very straight and narrow. I'm getting my blood tested every few weeks. They're watching my levels for this, that, and the other, and I'm like a walking science experiment right now. And we just kind of finally ruled out natural. We're done. Not done forever,
Right.
but we're moving on. IUI starts in the next couple of weeks.
The goal was, the hopes were with the surgery that we could just get pregnant naturally after the surgery. The goal was with the surgery to have it be effective enough that we could do IUI.
Yeah.
And we just found out in September that is the case.
Yeah, the goal was never natural.
No, the goal is, I said the hope was.
Oh.
The hope was natural.
Okay.
The goal was having enough to do IUI. So thankfully we do have that path, and I will be actually starting my medication tomorrow. I take that for 5 days, and then do my ovulation strips, and then next couple weeks we will do the IUI process. Middle of October, it's looking like, usually is when I'm, according to my thing, that I'm ovulating. So, and then we'll.
It's coming up soon. They said 3 months of this or 4 months? 3 months of this?
They'll only do 3 rounds of IUI
Before we do IVF.
before we have to jump into IVF.
So we've been hustling, busy, scraping pennies together because everything is expensive.
Everything. I've had to get tons of blood work done as well. All the tests. All the tests.
It's starting to pile on for sure. I had to take a cold, hard look at my life and make some decisions about this because, previous to this I was doing trees and it just wasn't paying the bills.
Yeah.
And it's just not. And there's nothing wrong with that. But Yeah.
It's just not, it wasn't going to get us where we want to be.
Yeah. Everything's really expensive right now, so I had to hustle and find something to do.
Which is?
Floors, man. I figured it out. I had done this before. I've done it on and off for a while, but I found an opportunity unlike anything I've found before. Like something that was such a drastic change as far as ease of use,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, I
is
would
just
agree with that.
unbelievable. So, I'm not going to say the company, but if we sing the song, you ready? You're going to finish it. I'll start it, you finish it. 1-800-588-2300. Don't say it. I don't know. They might have a social media clause. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want my new flooring business to get canned from contracting.
Right.
So I guess I never really realized growing up that, or whatever, as an adult. I don't know. I always think of myself as a child for some reason. So growing up, I never realized that companies that do work sub them out a lot of times. Like,
Independent
yeah,
contractors.
and that's the whole thing. And I understood what that was. I just didn't realize that there are companies out there just waiting for people to come and do their work for them.
Which I love because they've already got the work, they've already
Well-
got the supplies,
Well,
they
that's the
just need
thing.
you.
So every incarnation of me having my own business, which is the list is sadly starting to get long. It's not. There's two things,
Yeah.
but my least favorite part about it is the sales aspect.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that I don't like talking to people. It's not that I don't have the ability to sell snow to a snowman.
Right.
A gift of gab. Thanks, Mom. But I don't like that. I don't feel comfortable knowing how much something costs versus what something sells for.
Right.
It just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there was a point
Well,
where
you feel like you're like lying to people.
well, yeah, and
yeah,
cheating
you don't like
them.
that.
Like, there was a point where, not to get like too graphic, but I was working for a sales company at one point, a sales brokerage firm, and I one phone call, I made like thousands of dollars on one phone call, and the thing that was my commission, and the thing about that was that I knew what I bought the thing for, and the astronomical markup that I sold it for.
Mm-hmm.
And me, one phone call, able to make thousands of dollars. I just couldn't. I mean, if I remember correctly, I like came home and I was like,
You were like, I don't like this at all.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was like-
I feel like I'm manipulating people and lying to them.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
yeah,
Yeah, you were done with that.
yeah.
Because it's-
So even like in the restaurant world, like I don't mind being a server and selling some food. That's different. Somebody took the time to cook that. It's a whole crew of people, So if I know what a steak costs versus what they charge for a steak, that's different. You're getting a service like on the spot, Johnny on the spot style.
Yeah.
You're paying for the atmosphere or whatever. But when it comes to a product, I understand principally that's the same thing, but I just felt guilty. So, this flooring company, they sell carpet, tile, laminate, click and lock, vinyl, whatever. They sell everything for floors. And I don't have any part to do with that process. All I have to do, I hired a lovely person.
Employee.
Yeah, I was looking for a good word, but my brain fried. Yeah, I hired a guy to help me that didn't really know anything about floors, and he wanted to learn. And this little company's up and running. I've been at it now for 2 weeks. This is the third week, but it took me months to set this up.
Oh yeah. It took a
I
long
mean, I
time.
had to negotiate with the company and do all this paperwork, and I had to get insurance and this, that, and the other, and I had to get certified. We live close to the Pennsylvania border, so working out of state from Ohio over into Pennsylvania was a hassle. I had to, do all this stuff to be able to work in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So basically, my territory right now is Toledo down to Columbus and up to Pittsburgh, and it's like a huge triangle of area. And I've covered like hundreds of miles in a day doing installs for this company. Some are big, some are little, some are repairs, and it's been going really well.
Oh, you seem to really like it.
I enjoy it because I'm like cooking or like trees. I'm working with my hands. I'm doing something that I do like to do. I like floors. When I walk into a room, generally speaking, the first thing I notice is what's going on the floor. It's probably just because I'm not like obsessed with carpet or anything. That's not
Right.
what I'm trying to say. But I enjoy floors. I mean, I'm the last contractor in on a renovation or a build usually. and I'm the last one out, so I don't have to deal with other people, like other workers, you know. So yeah, just go to this little warehouse, pick up my materials for the day, go to my stops, and then I go home, and it's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, the work, I'm on my hands and my knees. It's not easy work per se, but as far as it
But the
goes,
process is.
I mean, in the ROI in the last couple of weeks, return on my investment, astronomically higher than the food,
Yeah.
than the
Oh, yeah.
restaurant was
Oh, yeah.
downtown. I mean, I'm not trying to I'm definitely not bragging right now. I'm just saying like, man, there's many ways out there to make money, and boy, was I wrong about the food.
Yeah.
I mean,
You live and you learn.
people do it, but that grind and that hustle it ended up burning me out so
Yeah.
fast. And this is just totally different. I feel loose. I'm moving around a lot. You can't tell the way I'm sitting, but I dropped some lbs in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I gained a bunch of weight after the surgery because I couldn't move for a while. And we eat healthy, like we don't buy anything frozen, blah blah blah. But if I'm not moving,
Yeah.
I love you, Larry, but you hit me with the DNA, man. And if I don't move and all I do is eat, I blow up quick, like a blimp. So anyway, I'm losing weight. I'm mobile. I mean, I'm in a better mood. I'm enjoying my little employee. He's great. He's not little. He's older, but he's learning, and it's cool to see someone learn that wants to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, with other things that I've done, I mean, the restaurant specifically. I mean, not with everybody, obviously. There were some great people that worked with us, but there's some other people that worked with us. It was like pulling teeth to get anything done, and I really had an outstanding feeling that like nobody wanted to change their situation. Nobody wanted to
They just wanted to
grow
ride
and
it
learn.
out.
They just wanted to get a paycheck. And I mean, I'm not taking anything away. Like I said, there was some great people there, and that whole thing is whatever. But I'm always trying to help teach. Not let me rephrase that. That's not right. That's not coming out the right way. I'm not a saint by any means. I have throughout my life, all my trials and tribulations, I've got my hands dirty in lots of things, and I believe that knowledge should be free. I don't think you should have to pay for it.
Right.
So if anybody wants to know something and I know how to do it, I am happy to share.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm happy to give all the details. If anybody drops a comment and they want to know how the flooring thing, contracting, how that looks on paper, I don't care. I'm happy to tell. I got nothing to hide. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's nice to have an employee who, every morning he's like in a good mood and he's like, what are we doing today? I want to learn. He's like eager. And it's just, I don't know, that's nice.
I think he's a good dude.
Yeah, he's cool. So anyway, flooring, it's good. My knees hurt a little bit, but I got knee pads, which is new. I never had knee pads before, so that's nice. Other than that, I feel good. I've been really busy. I mean, I'm leaving at 5:30 in the morning. I'm not getting home until 7 or 8. It depends. Some days, I get lucky and I'm home by 3 or 4. But anyway, there's huge potential with this. It's not just this company that does it. It's all home renovation companies that do this basically. And now that I got that this is going, I mean, I'm going to be able to expand this big time. I just got to keep hunting for people like this employee I have.
Yeah.
And as soon as I can find other people like him, I will get them up and rolling for sure. Because as often as I can, I mean, this company specifically has more work than they know what to do with.
Right.
And I mean, when they found out that I can do, like, for example, I know how to do tile. And when they found out I knew how to do tile, they booked me out for like months. I mean,
Right.
it goes week by week, but
still.
yeah, I've been able to take like loads off of them, which
That's
is cool.
good.
And again, to wrap this up and bring it all the way around, I'm not doing any sales whatsoever.
Right. And that's
I
the
pick
good
up the
part.
materials, I go to the customers' houses, I do the work, I clean up, and I leave. And to not have any of the other hassles.
Right, like not even having to get the materials. Like you're just picking them up.
Yeah, I don't
You
even
don't have to order them. You don't have to price them. You don't have to do any of that.
Nothing. This
That's
is crazy. It's the craziest thing. Like, I can't believe more people don't know about these types of situations. And maybe they do, and I just didn't.
Yeah.
And that's a real possibility. I'm not the brightest light for sure, but like I feel like everybody I know that does something with their hands in the construction world or whatever. I can't imagine why anybody wouldn't do what I'm doing right now. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've got insurance payments and gas. I got to keep the tools up to speed, but I mean, tools aren't that expensive for flooring. I'm not really,
Right.
I'm not building engines here.
Right.
It's like simple stuff.
It's true.
So I don't know. But yeah, that's it for me. Work's going good. It took me a few months to set this up, which was frustrating, but you'll have your issues with legal departments and
Yeah.
whatever, but otherwise, yeah, golden. So school's on the up and up. IUI starting soon. I'm going to call that as the up and up.
Oh, for sure.
Floors are on the up and up.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Mhm.
The dogs are annoying still.
I don't know. They did really good the other night
Oh,
when I had the kids here. I was very impressed.
Yeah, your nieces and nephews came over, and the dogs were good with them.
Like really.
We don't
good
have
with
little
them.
people, so we don't know how they do around little people. We take our dogs out in public all the time, and we take them to parks and stuff, but we generally don't take them. Like, I'm not taking the dogs to the fair or to the art walk, or
Right.
I just that many people. Your dog doesn't want to be there. Sorry, it gets stressed out.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Talking shit. Anyway. But yeah, bringing your dog to somebody's house and having them play or going to a barbecue or something, that's fine. But anywhere that there's massive people pounding the pavement, your dog doesn't want to be there, trust
Yeah.
me. So
Well,
we didn't know how
they did very well.
Yeah.
So that's good. But yeah. All in all.
All right, you're falling asleep.
Well, yeah, I just hit a wall.
Yeah. Anything else we got? Anything else on the agenda? We're gonna jump back into doing
No.
this regularly.
But just as how good things are, when things are really bad and you say, this too will pass. And remember that sometimes when things are really good too, that this too will pass as well. But you just have to remember how we got here.
Thanks, Tom Hanks, for the advice. This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. One of my favorite videos.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
You're not the only person that's talked to me about that recently. This too shall pass. Yeah, I guess the goal right now is just to
Ebbs and flows.
keep it moving.
Keep it moving, keep it grooving. And we've been doing a good job going to church and stuff and making sure that's a priority, so that's good too. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right, see you next week because we're on again.
We're on again.
Love you long time.
Love you long time. You're cute.
Rude.